Do you want to just follow me around a little bit, and I'll go over what I've been doing the last like 48 hours that I haven't slept?
Let's go.
Okay, this ain't getting posted until after the race.
I don't care.
Okay, deal. So we're making the spill panels for the big old wang that's going on the thing. We need to come up with a name with that. You know how Peter Baum has like his butt hurt bar?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta find a name for the wing.
We'll think. Let's talk first.
All right. So I just got done making these spill panels. Eric Carnes, he's the guy that had this other wing, but he's a fairly smart dude, pretty smart dude. So he took on the responsibility of making a wing for this guy, and he's meeting us down in North Carolina, either Thursday morning or Thursday night, so he could retrofit this wing. I just went and picked up Maddy just went and picked up a 110 TIG welder, so we have a trailer a welder for the trailer. I got a 220 only TIG welder that I'll be selling, so I could afford the 110 one that we just picked up. But that one we'll be able to travel with, and I'll be able to have a welder when we travel. So we might have to make some modifications to the wing structure that I built for the 48-inch wing. But this new wing is freaking big, like big. So I had to make up new spill panels. The spill panels are what keeps the car straight, and I got a metal brake them to give some rigidity to this. Every time you give a metal brake, it really adds a lot of strength to your piece. So,
how big is this new wing? By the time they see this video, it's already going to be public, like seen.
Okay.
So
it's this new wing is 22 by 61.5. This one's 17 by 48. I'm not going to get too much detail because I don't want too much people knowing exactly what we're doing here. But long story short,
it's cool. A big wing.
It's a big wing. It's gonna work out pretty well. So over here, we had a lifter issue, racing pour your own puddle. Well, actually, we had a tuner driver issue. This guy right here screwed up a little bit. But we had a lifter issue as well. The lifter started chirping. They're ideally not supposed to look like this. There's supposed to be some needle bearings. There's supposed to be some needle bearings in there and stuff like that. And there's supposed to be another lifter attached to that. So yeah, I got it jumped. So I came over here and I made this access panel. I cut open my intake manifold last night. With a big block Chevy, a conventional headed big block Chevy, we have issues. Our intake runners are side by side, so there's not an access hole in between the intake runners to access those lifters. Now with a Big Chief styled, Big Chief or Pontiac headed or old, I think even an old headed big block Chevy, that's old school stuff like late 90s, early 2000s type stuff. Or the Big Chief stuff is modern day aftermarket heads. But those ones, there's an access hole between that you could access your lifters. Well, we run a conventional headed big block Chevy. We got trick flow 365s on here, and currently we have the burnt up heads that were in the 30. When the motor broke a couple weeks ago, it dropped a rod bolt broke, and it dinged up a bunch of valves and beat up our brand new heads. So we got the old Warriors on here. Long story short, I made this access panel in here. Can you see it?
Not really, but I can.
Yeah, flashlight. Put them off.
No.
Come on. Put my backpack. Put my backpack. I got a flashlight in my backpack. You know what else I got in my backpack?
Yeah, I do know what's in there. You're so weird. Maple syrup.
You gotta have a shot every once in a while. Eventually, guys, you'll know how I'm able to work so often. So, see those two bolts down in there? You're not shining them to the bolts. Don't look too hard, because like this was a used piece of metal. That's ugly looking. So there's a bolt back there and a bolt up here, and it's just right stuffed in there.
Yeah, whatever.
So, worst comes to worst, I can undo those two bolts there. Do I look better?
It was blurry, so yeah, you looked great.
Perfect. So once I pop out those two 3/8 bolts, I drilled and tapped it and cut out that piece out of my old coil bracket for the stretchy truck, the mid-engine twin turbo S10 that I had. I took one of those old coil brackets, welded up the holes on it, and slammed that puppy in there. So I drilled and tapped the intake, cut out the center section of it. So now I can pop out those two bolts, get a pry bar in there, pop out that center, and I can reach my hand in through the intake, through the lifter valley area, and pop out the lifters if need be. We also, I've done drag wing for quite a long time, so need be, I can reach in there, we can lift the lifters up, tie them up, and we can run this thing on 7 cylinders if we have to. Now we're running for some big money here this weekend. It's $100,000 to win, so you gotta be able, when you start getting into later rounds, this race, there's gonna be quite a bit of time in between rounds. But so we got time for maintenance if need be. But in most cases, we got about a 20-minute turnaround that we have to have this car 100% ready to run. And as the rounds get going, you can't slow down. So we gotta be able to be on our A game. And if not, if we gotta run this thing on 7 cylinders, I could just up the boost a little bit. I could do some stuff in the Holley system to shut off a cylinder, and we could run this thing on 7 cylinders. But long story short, long story longer, we're getting back here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got, here's the, I haven't done a video on this yet. What? I haven't done a video on this just yet, but this is the wing I made. These longer bars here are for the big wing. That's why it looks a little bit goofy with the 48-inch wing on here. But these bigger bars are used for the big wing. So I just built that structure there, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too crazy.
That should fit, like, do you think you're gonna have to really fab much at Dig or Die to, like?
I hope not. I got a bunch, I'm bringing some metal. We gotta see if that argon bottle's filled too.
You said it's half.
Half? That's pretty good enough. So.
I didn't check it myself, but.
I might have to check that before I leave. What else? Then, we're dealers for huge performance. So I went and ordered up a new stator. Dig or Die is a little bit of a slower race. So, and with a big motor like that, when you have a big RPM drop, you really change the load on the tire.
RPM drop in between the shifts?
Yeah, we're on the 1 to 2 shift. We run a 158 first gear and a 1 to 1 second gear. We're dealers for Vickers Performance, and we got one of their Battle Axe 400s in there. But it's a 158 2-speed 400, so it's like a turbo glide deal with a 158 first gear, 1 to 1 second gear, and it's a lot closer ratio than your typical 248, 148, 1 to 1 typical ratios in the turbo 400, 3-speed 400. But we still have a large RPM drop when we're not running a lot of boost in this thing, when we're not making a lot of power. So Dig or Die is a much slower race. We don't have to go nearly as fast as we have been with this car. So I've elected to get a loose stator here. We're taking out the stator in there, and they do an exchange program, so we get a little bit of our money back, and I'm gonna roll that money over into a much tighter stator as well that we'll be using for our normal no prep stuff that we get to go a little bit faster with. We got the dump valve on the car, and I could start using the dump valve when I have the tight stator in there. But this loose stator here will be perfect for this slower no prep stuff, I think. We're getting a little risky. We gotta leave here in like
24 hours,
what?
Not even 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's
we gotta leave here in like
almost
18
midnight.
hours.
It's almost midnight.
We gotta leave here in like 18 hours. So I gotta pull the transmission out of this car, and I gotta get to work. Maddy's gonna head back home, and Rexy needs his beauty rest.
Oh, hi Rexy Rex. Did you chase after a deer tonight?
This is where I slept last night, and this is where I'll be sleeping again, because we had a major flood back home. Well, that's not why I slept here last night, but I'll be sleeping here tonight because we had a major flood back at my mom's place, and I can't get the bus and the trailer over there because like there's like a foot of water in spots, and I'm not doing that to my trailer, and I'm not doing that just before we leave for a 14-hour road trip down south. So guys, we're gonna post this video. Shit, we can't post this video tonight. Cut! No, we appreciate it, guys. This video, we'll post this video probably Friday when we get down to Dig or Die. But we guys, we will have merchandise with us. I spent entirely way too much money on merchandise. But guys, all y'all that are coming down to Dig or Die, Rockingham Dragway in North Carolina, it's one of our first times being, well, it's our first time being down south with this car. So guys, I appreciate y'all that purchase merchandise, t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. What?
Pull a shirt out of the box and show them.
Oh.
There's the box right there. We have a couple hoodies that we'll be selling at the track, but mostly T-shirts, and there's some
I
kid
didn't buy too
sizes
many
too.
hoodies. It's still fairly warm out. So
Yeah.
the homegrown hustler. We got this video, this picture. The next version of this shirt is gonna have. We're
It'll
gonna
be
make a couple
it'll
of
be
changes
really
there.
cool.
So
Yeah.
we got a
Let's
big
see the
old
front.
wang on that thing.
See the front. See the front.
Hustling horsepower. Every day hustling, 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 hustling horsepower. No. Okay. So we're gonna have merchandise with us. Also, I'll have my TIG welder in the trailer. I'll have a set of scales with me.
The lift.
We have the lift. I'm probably gonna do it with the lift. $150 for the first hour, $50 an hour. After that, $100 minimum for welding. Scales, I don't know, like $100 or something like that. You can bring your car in the trailer. We can put it on the lift. Yeah, welding, maybe like a minimum of $100 job. But I'll be able to do MIG TIGs, TIG welding and everything. Aluminum, steel, stainless, chromoly, whatever. I'll have all the normal filler rods with me for my normal fabrication stuff. We'll have some miscellaneous metal so that we could fix you guys up for the most part. So, yeah, stop by the trailer, stop by the school bus, big old yellow school bus. You ain't gonna mess us. What else? I don't know. I'm tired, guys. I gotta get to work. We'll see you before too long. What?
Okay. Done?
Yeah.